Hello there again. It's been a long time since I've made a Jund video, but figured I'd have some fun with one today. Uh, this is Jund Windgrace featuring Urza's Saga. A couple reasons why I picked certain things in the deck. I like the Furies a lot in the Urza Saga builds because you're a lot of the time devoting like 6 mana towards activating Urza Sagas, which means you're typically not doing anything else on those earlier turns where that's the plan. So Fury is a nice way to also cast spells at the same time activating Saga to also interact on the turns when you otherwise would not be. The threats are obviously Soul. It's got some cool synergy with Saga, and it just brings it back, which isn't necessarily like a combo that will win immediately, but it's a nice little value engine that you can kind of get going. Playing Ren and 6 is obviously kind of the same deal with the Sagas. Um, and then the removal package is kind of built out to make sure I can kill things like Murktide and just things that damage doesn't necessarily work with. So I'm playing 2 Unholy Heats and 2 Lightning Bolts. I'm not playing anything like Mishra's Bauble in this deck, so it's not necessarily going to be super consistent that Unholy Heat has Delirium. Also, Bolt going to face is nice, but 3 is more than 2, and I'm not sure how often this 2 will actually turn into 6, so I split it. Also got 2 Fatal Pushes, 2 Terminates, and that pretty much rounds out the removal sweep other than the Furies, obviously, and my 1 Liliana of the Veil. I am 3 cards off of companioning Gigantha, which I'm aware of, but again, I think Furies are kind of just excellent, and they're a nice little way to continue to get ahead while activating Urza's Saga. I do have a few sideboard cards also, Force of Vigor and Leyline, that do not work with Gigantha because they're double black or double green. And also Chalice as well, having X appearing more than once. I could probably, I know, like, instead of playing Chalice, I could play Void Mirror if I wanted to companion Gigantha, but I do think Chalice is a step above Void Mirror. Um, but who knows? Maybe something wild like Eldrazi Tron comes back. I know it just like won an event. Let's look at the metagame. It's 12-4-22. And this is what the top tables are looking like. Overentomb Aether Vial. I can't say I know what that means. I guess it could be goblins. Um, I'm likely to want to shock next turn anyway to hold up Fatal Push and or Lightning Bolt. And I'll just go ahead and do it now, so that way next turn when I play basic mountain, it's and leave like both mana up, it's not obvious that I've got something. This way, if I just play mountain and pass, it looks like I just had a second land as opposed to shocking for no reason. Ooh, it's Yawgmoth with Vial. Interesting. This is obviously not ideal. I could just use my 2 removal spells on it and then try to connect. They could Vial another one in, which would suck. But they could also just Vial in something like an Ignoble Hierarch, which still doesn't block. I would really like to connect to start generating mana. Bolt is never going to kill Yawgmoth. Fatal Push may. It's not ideal, but I do think I'm going to go for this. I'm just going to hope they don't have another Young Wolf. I could also just attack and save the Fatal Push. And just try to trade, but again, I would like to start making mana. The opponent kept a 1-lander, so I'm going to assume they've got multiple 1-drops. I just hope the next one isn't another Young Wolf. Okay. That one we can at least trade for. Next turn we get to Fable. Maybe convert some cards in hand. Maybe it's not Yawgmoth. I mean, this would make it make sense that it's Yawgmoth. I'm gonna get a green source here. I'll get second black. And then I'll just ditch the 2 lands, I think. Violent and Grist, you say? Alright, so no Delirium yet. I'll need to find something like a Terminate. Alright, I'm gonna discard the 2 tap lands. Or the one that would enter tapped. And I guess I'll keep second green. Windgrace. I mean, I'll play it. They can kill it for almost certainly free. I could get their Verdant back. I don't know that there is a reason I'd have to. Let's just get Triome into play. Let's see what the opponent says. Opponent says this is new. Maybe they're talking about them. Another undying creature would be all but game. Maybe that's what they're digging for. Yep. So I don't believe it's deterministic at the moment, but they're pretty likely. So Fable will flip. We'll go to 10. We can actually, funnily enough, I can put Soul in play and put a Dryad Arbor into play. It'll come in tapped, so not super useful. Ooh, Lightning Bolt is interesting. If we can somehow trick them into losing 3 life, we might be able to get there. We did show them a Lightning Bolt, so it wouldn't be super crazy to think we're playing more than one. I mean, I'm going to put creatures in play to entice them to do some looping. They did not vial a creature on 3. That's wild. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Blood Artist. That does it. Because now they get to gain a life every time they loop. So that does win them the game. Alright, Yawgmoth. Okay. We want our Ley Lines. That's probably it. We could potentially Soul Guide. Needle can name Yawgmoth, so that seems like it'll be worth it. So it's maybe the Soul Guide. Let's see how much we want to take out. Liliana against the Go Wide. Probably a single soul. We're on the play, so I'll probably keep in the majority of the monkeys. I really dislike discard versus mid-range decks, but this is also kind of a combo deck, which leaves me in a weird spot. Them also maybe bringing in Veil of Summer makes discard worse. But I mean, having only 58 cards, including Soul Guide, makes me think maybe I should just like bring in 2, with the 2 being Thoughtseize because those hit Yawgmoth. Alternatively, I could just bring these 2 back in if I'm off of discard completely. I think on the play, I should just go ahead and play these 2 Thoughtseizes. On the draw, when the opponent may have Veil of Summer while they're on the play, then they do get worse, and maybe I'll flip it. Huh. This hand kind of leans hard on Saga. We've got 3 of our 6 targets already in hand. Because we don't really have any meaningful pressure. I could go Desk on 1 and then try to get Saga going. I mean, they'll be pretty large. Let's keep it. So I'll go turn 1. I guess I'll go Fetch Shock Blood Crypt. I guess I could just shock this and play the desk off of that. I don't think I want to show them the needle yet. I'm going to be spending my turns 2 and 3 mana activating Urza Saga. I'll have 1 mana left over on turn 3, so unless they have double Dork, that's going to be fast enough to get it in before Yawgmoth. Maybe I have this come in tapped at some point. Let's just do the Blood Crypt now. Get this desk into play. I could just Needle now. Is there any reason to? I'm not activating desk anytime soon, really. Yeah, let's just get this artifact into play for when the Saga tokens come in line. Goose, yep. I'm not gonna needle Goose. I think I'm needling Yawgmoth. Here. Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth. It is this one, right? Doesn't hurt to double check. Yeah, it is. Go. Uh-huh. Alright, so this is the turn I'm going to begin activating Saga. I could instead Thoughtseize, but I do have it needled. I guess this is a grist, huh? Oh, that's even worse. Alright, well, now I will activate this to try to hit a land for Fable. Did not find it, but did find a lightning bolt. There's the ley line. Alright, well, Thoughtseize. Blood Artist, Yawgmoth. And again, Yawgmoth is needled. They can still cast it just as a 2/4 though. Blood Artist almost feels like it's more dangerous. I mean, it is just an 0/1. I'll take the Yogg. I don't want to just immediately die if they find a way to get rid of my needle. This ley line I don't think is getting cast. I'm probably going to try to ditch it off of Fable. Vial doesn't do anything. Alright, I need lands. That'll do. This does outsize everything as well, which is nice. I could even maybe consider casting the ley line. That turns the Blood Artists off on their side. Anytime a creature on their side would die. I did draw the land too. I think I'm casting this ley line. I'll still say yes. I don't want the Mox Amber. Probably want to keep the Windgrace though. Let's just discard the Amber. Then let's get this into play. So when I attack and they block, Blood Artist doesn't trigger. Vial does nothing. Take one. Alright, so I've got a few options here. I think I'd like to get this run in 6 going. It can kill their creatures basically one by one. Let's do that. R green. And then what do I kill first between Blood Artist and Wolf? Okay, yeah, they just scoop. Sweet. Ooh, Magic Online. Okay. Magus of the Moon is something I'll keep in mind moving forward. I guess the only real consideration is what I thought of last time. I think the Thoughtseizes. So do I want a Soul and or Liliana over it? Don't think that I do. I guess I'll just resubmit this. Ooh. No, turn 1 play. Red and 6 might be too slow. I think I've got a mulligan. This is it's just way too slow, but it'll feel bad with the worst hand. This is not necessarily super slow because Mox Amber will be turned on by Ren and 6. Fable can maybe catch us up. I think I'm keeping it. It's not exciting, but it does interact. It does have a Mox Ren and 6 draw. Lightning Bolt was phenomenal though. I will land go. And I think I'll get Stomping Ground if I want to shock. Although I should maybe just get basic Swamp and a basic Forest to start playing around moons. Huh. Think I'm taking the hit. What I can do on the turn coming up is I can run in 6, ping the Geist. I can have Mox Amber for to cast Lightning Bolt. I don't think I'm playing around the Magus here. I think what I'm going to do is going to get Triome. And then I can get basic Forest with the Verdant. Use that to cast Red and 6. Then Mox Amber will check for the red on Red and 6. And I do want to, I think, just go ahead and Lightning Bolt now. Although they could just Violent a 1-drop, but they might not have a 1-drop. Alright, so this will come in. I guess what I should do is actually cast this first. And then we'll have Lightning Bolt available. I think I'll just do that now. I don't want them to Eldritch Evolution off of it. If they Violent a 1, they could still put Magus into play, but I'd still have all the colors I need. Don't necessarily need black mana right now. If my 3 cards in hand are red, I've already got 2 green sources, counting the Mox Amber. Another Lightning Bolt is a good one. Although now I can probably just get my basic Swamp pretty freely. Return a Mire. I'll probably just play this now. Let's fetch basic Swamp now. We'll get Magus. We'll get the Fable into play. Keep up the Triome. Use the Mox now. In case Ren and 6 somehow leaves and turns Mox off, we'll want to have a red source to hold up Lightning Bolt. I mean, I'm glad the opponent has drawn multiple Aether Vials. We will block if they attack. I could Lightning Bolt the opponent's Young Wolf. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ping it with the Ren and 6 and then use the Lightning Bolt to finish it. See what we draw. Blood Crypt. Okay. Let's say yes to Fable's ability and discard. I think just both lands, honestly. Backup Ren and 6 could come in handy. Okay. So do I want to ping this and bolt it? I think I do. I'm a little scared of what they could potentially vial in, but let me just go ahead and attack first. Like they could vial in a Geist perhaps, Stringroot Geist I mean. But if they do that now, it was probably going to happen end step anyway, and I'd rather it happen now while I've got Fury. Okay, no block is nice. So we have 5 mana now. I could also play Soul. keeping treasure available. I could plus Rand 6 to guarantee my land drop. There's not actually anything I can do right now other than playing Research Desk. I don't particularly care to do that. I think what I would like to do is just start with Soul and see how far that gets me. I'll put a Blood Crypt into play, I think. It will not pay the life. Okay. I do think I want to ping this now that I know my blocker is good. And I don't want them to like Violin the Geist, have Yawgmoth kill me. I want, if they put a Yawgmoth into play, I'd want to be able to kill one of their creatures. Violin a 1. Okay. So if they put a Yawgmoth on the stack, or if they cord at some point, I'm going to respond by Lightning Bolt to the 2/2 Wolf. They've got 6 mana in play for cording purposes. I could bolt now to prevent a cord. Right? Like they can't evolution into it either right now. If they just go land, they'll still just have cord for 3. That puts Grist into play, but I'm not necessarily stopping that anyway, and I can Fury the others. I think I do want to do this now. If they attack both at Wrenn and 6, I'll block the Wolf so that Fury can clean up. Alright, Vials on 2 and 3. Losing the Wrenn and 6 doesn't turn off Mox Amber now either. Alright, I assume this is the Planeswalker. They can sacrifice Young Wolf to kill the soul and then kill the Wrenn and 6. But then I'm in a pretty good spot because I get to clean up with Fury. Oh, they're just going up. That works out even better for me. Fury is gonna get to take care of all of their creatures. Pretty nuts. And then I get to just attack and kill the Grist that way. Is there any reason to exile the Fury, to exile the Wrenn and 6 to the Fury, to then keep the one that I've already got in play? I honestly kind of like it, because then this Wrenn and 6 in play can return a land and keep up a soul activation. So let's do it this way. Alright, so 1, 2. I think they may be conceding. There we go. Magic Online being Magic Online. I'm afraid to click. I don't want it to crash. I guess I'll do it. Oh no. Excellent. Yeah. Well, huh. You can't hear it, but every time I'm clicking, I'm getting like a bling feedback. As like not from the Magic Online window, from my computer, I guess like failing to recognize the program. I guess I'll force shut it and hope for the best. Oh, I just got a loading wheel. Alright, I guess it's task manager time. Magic Online. And alright, let's try this again. Hopefully it keeps my record. I mean, the window popped up saying that I had won the match, so I assume that it will keep that. All right, it says I have one win, so I guess it's saved. That's good. Magic Online casually for a second used 95% of my CPU. It's using 84% right now. What is happening? It says it's not responding. Excellent. Oh, there it goes. All right, CPU usage going down to 60. Woo! All right, it's winding down, so let it wind down. Oh, come on, it's going back up. What is up? All right. I think it caught up. We're back to 25%, 20%, 16, 11. Okay. Oh no, Streamlabs is taking a dump. All right. It looks like everything is normal now. Okay. I think we're doing all right now. Easy keep. Took the Windgrace. Is that some kind of mirror? Alright, well, if they've got lands, Ren and 6, I'll obviously be upset. But I would still, in that case, get to play Urza Saga and Lightning Bolt the Ren. Jund Mirrors in 2022? About to be 2023? Oh, it's just the same exact thing as last time. Okay. I think I'm going to get the Urza Saga going. I also have Lightning Bolt available. If I attack, they will block, but then I get to Lightning Bolt it to finish it. This is like not getting in otherwise, so I think it may be worth it to try to trade with them. They don't know about Terminate, and I am going to Lightning Bolt now to prevent Eldritch Evolution. Okay. Fable was a good draw, but I think I want to just get these Saga activations going. The Saga tokens are going to be much more threatening. then the Fable. Like the 2/2 already just doesn't get in. It can start making treasures for mana, but again, these Saga tokens are going to be so much bigger. I'm attacking with one of them as a 4/4. Putting a Dryad Arbor into play. Don't think I should be terminating yet. I think I need to save the terminate for the Yogg. Here it comes. Again, they do not know about terminate, and Fable is the other card they don't know about. If I make a creature now, they're just gonna kill it or like get some value out of it. I don't want them to get value, begin drawing cards. So I think what I'll do now is I'll just immediately terminate the Yawgmoth and then make a creature at my upkeep. I could get basic Swamp if I'm in fear of my life total. If I draw Run and 6, I've got the Boseiju 4. I don't necessarily need the Boseiju. Otherwise, I'll just get the Swamp. Maybe they no longer need the wall. Maybe they just like put a counter on the wolf. Sack the wall, maybe take the counter off. Yeah. Just trying to get some. They're just trying to get some value out of this. Remember, I do have access to Pyrite Spellbomb off of the Saga, so I could use that to clean up another creature if I feel like it. Okay. Let's see what I draw. Monkey. So, activating Saga and then getting an artifact would mean I have a 3/3. Unfortunately, I only have green mana via the Boseiju. This can get a spell bomb as well if I don't necessarily need the Pyrite right now. If I just tap this for mana and then get I could get the Mox Amber because then I could then play Monkey and Fable. But this Monkey is just like not gonna get in ever. I think I'm making the creature here, and then I'll get Nile Spellbomb, which will at least prevent them from comboing me. Okay. Okay. Nothing attacks through me right now, which is nice. Land. Okay. I do definitely want to get this Fable into play. I think what I'm going to do is shock, cast Fable, and hold up the Spellbomb plus draw a card. I'm going to ditch this Ragavan to the Fable, I think. Next turn, that is. And then we really just want to avoid the opponent finding a Yawgmoth. We can break the Undying loop as long as they don't play a third Undying creature. Although they would still just get a crap ton of value that would probably amount to them winning the game anyway. So we want to just dodge the Yawgmoth. Eldritch Evolution does it, Chord does it, actual Yawgmoth does it. That's probably at least 10 cards in their deck. Blood Artist is dangerous as well. Looks like they may have the Chord after all. Grist. Okay. If they sacrifice an undying creature, I'll pop the spell bomb. You may sacrifice a creature. Okay. Sacrificed a wall. I assume they are targeting Construct. They are. Which will trigger Blood Artist again. And if they attack with the Stringgeist, I do think I'm blocking and popping Spell Bomb. Alternatively, I could not block and then plan on putting the Shadow Spear on. I think I'm taking the 2. Okay, I'll draw a card, ditch this monkey to Fable. Pyrite is interesting. Probably worth keeping. Let's still ditch the monkey, though. Soul. Okay. Well, I still want to have the Pyrite going. So let's play Pyrite. And I would like to equip Shadow Spear. I'll leave up black-red because that activates either spell bomb. And then I'm going to attack the Grist. I think my computer might be unplugged. It is. I think my computer became low battery, and then it might have changed my performance settings because it was getting low, and that might have been what caused the error a second ago. Alright, let's see what they do. This treasure means we can also draw off of the other spell bomb if it feels like it. Alright, this is working. Okay. I may still want to kill the Blood Artist now to prevent cording. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can cord for whatever they want anyway. Let's just keep the spell bombs up. Still hoping for no Yawgmoth. That's fine. That will exalt something, but they have a more profitable attack, just hitting with 2 things anyway. I'm just gonna say okay to this. Take my 4. Attack for 3 with lifelink on the backswing. Grist. Okay. So if they -2 it, which I'm assuming they are, I should then respond with Pyrite Spellbomb to hit the Blood Artist. Alternatively, I could just use it to hit the Grist. That seems better. Yeah, I needed to kill the Grist. Otherwise, I'm just not punching through to it. So I do have two legendary lands. I'm gonna play this. I can then play second Beseiju and equip the the Shadow Spear. Play. Choose which one to keep. This one. Move the Shadow Spear to the big creature. This puts down the Spell Bomb plus draw card. I can still just Spell Bomb though. I don't believe they have a good attack as long as they don't have third copy of Grist to kill my soul. So Yawgmoth's still bad. Grist also bad now. If they have Chord or Evolution, I'm not even sure which of the two they would get. Probably, obviously it would just be Yawgmoth because they would kill me. Two Undying Creatures and Blood Artist is a kill. I mean, they haven't been playing lands either. They've been using all of their mana pretty much every turn, though, so I'm not really sure what their hand could be. They're playing Thoughtseize in the main, so it could be something like another Thoughtseize, honestly. I'm going to attack with the soul, gain some life. Let's put Dryad Arbor into play. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Yes, I'll use the ability. I'll have a fair amount of mana still. Let's get the Triumph. 5 is a chunk. This Blood Artist is going to make it annoying without this lifelink, though. They're just taking it. Interesting. Okay. So this sacrifices them at the end step, right? So sacrificing my token, if I copy it, will trigger Blood Artist. This is only making a 2/2. Oh no, because I do get to copy it. And then the copy will be big enough to survive, but then still die at the end step. Like they'll both block as 3/3s, but then when one sacrifices, the other will shrink. So do I just I think I do need to block both. Here, this is what I'll do. Oh wow, they just scooped to that? They must have drawn a land. I think this Blood Artist was maybe gonna kill me. Was I go block, everybody dies, I go to 4. In response to their undying, I pop the Spell Bomb. I guess I have the Soul going. Soul does gain life as long as I can draw lands. Alright, I'm going to sideboard the same as last time. Bring in the Needle, bring in the Ley Lines. Soul Guide as well. And then on the draw, monkeys get worse, but they're probably still better than this Liliana. Some number of discard spells for sure. Soul on the draw could just be too slow. It's probably just 2 more discard spells, same as before. Fable could maybe be too slow on the draw. Let's just give this a go. Hopefully we have a Leyline in our hand turn 1. We do. We have 2 of them. And 2 Fatal Pushes. It's got to be good enough. The issue is if they have Force of Vigor, they do get to kill both. If they have like a single disenchant effect, then putting both into play will be good. Holding one maybe better against something like um, a if I draw something like a Fable, because I can ditch the other one to try to convert it. I want to be able to put Ren and 6 into play next turn if I draw it. So I think I'm just going to shock now. Push the bird, which makes no sense whatsoever, because how can you push a flying creature and it dies to its death? Falls to its death? I don't know. Do I want to push that as well? As long as I have the ley lines in play, the Yawgmoths aren't particularly impactful. This means they could Eldritch Evolution into something. I'm going to play the Verdant because I probably want to play around Magus at some point, so this can get Forest. I have basic Swamp in my hand. Let's probably just like not do anything silly. Let's just kill this. I'll get basic Forest now so I can put Mishra's research desk into play. And again, Force of Vigor would likely get me. Hell yeah. Got him. And no next lands. They could still very easily have Force of Vigor. That was good. I guess we'll just do that instead. So there isn't a single card in my deck that it can't cast off of 3 mana, with the exception with the exception of the Windgrace. So I was maybe gonna activate in my main phase as opposed to at end step, because if I like drew something I wanted to cast over the thing that I exile, I wouldn't just waste the card that I exile. With the danger being I draw Windgrace. Yeah, it's a keep. It would be much better on the play. Is it the same? Are we playing against Yawgmoth again? That's what it looks like. I guess Mountain Bolt. Yawgmoth third in a row. Jeez. Them attacking does give me a window to connect with Monkey, so perhaps I should take it. This is going to give me, obviously, a treasure, so I can still have heat up if I think it's necessary to use. Oh, we did not reveal a bird. How unlucky. Don't know if they're playing Dryad Arbor in the main deck, but if they are, that could be something to be wary of. Maybe I don't want to dash unless I have mana available to potentially Lightning Bolt. Grist is scary. Not really close to Delirium to snipe it. second Unholy Heat. Well, I could double Unholy Heat the Grist. It's obviously not super ideal, but may be necessary. I have the Terminate for the Yawgmoth. I think that's the plan. I don't really want to just cast Ragavan. This is probably getting basic Forest. That doesn't let me cast all 3 of my 1-mana spells without using the treasure, though. I don't want to get basic Swamp. I think I really am just double heating this Grist and saying go after playing Triome. They know about Monkey, so I'm not going to surprise them anymore. That makes me want to put the Monkey into play. If I want to put the Monkey into play, perhaps I just get Stomping Ground to have my triple red. It's the most painful of all of the lines, but maybe the best. Alright. Not ideal. But I mean, triple red is required. I would ideally like to save the treasure. This felt really bad. It feels unlikely that there wasn't a better way to do this. There's the Yogg. Gonna have to terminate that. If they attack with the Geist, I'm gonna put Monkey in front of it. I'm gonna put it in front of whatever they attack with. It gives them fewer creatures to gain value off of. I guess they're trying to hit a land drop. Maybe they didn't hit it. I guess they still have the main phase. Wow, okay, they didn't draw the land. Alright, I have to kill this, like, basically immediately. I'll play the Triome. Go. I mean, they're at 6 cards in hand. I'm at 8. They're attacking for 3 as it is. I feel like I'm going to be pretty hard pressed to come back from this, but I'll try. Here come all of the mana idiots. That doesn't do anything. Those don't really do anything. Although I guess I'll take the Saga. I could unearth, but I'll only be able to cast something that costs up to 2. There isn't really anything super impactful that I could hit. Although I guess... Okay, actually, you could, yeah, only up to 2. I mean, I guess I'll do it. I get to cast it next turn if I want. I'm not doing anything other than casting Monkey otherwise. Wow. We are not hitting it. I guess I could Thoughtseize. If they somehow have nothing else. Okay, well they've got it. Alright. They've got it 3 ways. Alright, I mean I'm gonna sideboard the exact same way I did before. Oh, wrong artifact. Soul Guide, Pithing Needle. Take out a soul. Take out the Inquisitions and the first 2 Thoughtseizes. Take out the Liliana. like to go first and hopefully have exactly one copy of Leyline. Terminate and run in 6. This hand is missing pressure, and it's also missing a Leyline. I mean, we're not missing pressure, but the pressure is slow. Feels too good to mulligan, though. I'll probably want to get basic Swamp as a way to play around Moon. Or Magus of the Moon, that is. But I do need green to get this Ren and 6 into play. Hopefully they play a 1-mana idiot. Perfect. They could still have Strangleroot Geist to kill the Ren and 6, which would be unfortunate. I could just Lightning Bolt in order to try to prevent that, but I become so far ahead if they don't have it that I think the upside is there. Damn. Alright, well, I'll go Fable now. There's the Leyline. I could consider next turn casting the Leyline. Which would prevent the combo kill, and then with double removal Soul of Windgrace, I can maybe figure something out. Okay. I'll take 2 if they attack. They don't. Land would be really good here. Alright. Yes, let's use the ability. Yes. I'm going to discard second Fable. Because if I find another land, I'm going to want to play this Leyline before attacking. Because then I could put the Leyline into play and Lightning Bolt something and have it stay exiled. So, but the thing is, I want to keep Terminate and I want to keep Bolt. But I mean, only discarding Fable cuts my chances of drawing the land in half. I mean, I could just draw more pressure, but Soul is maybe the best pressure I've got access to. I think I'm going to take the high risk, high reward line. And if I miss, I'm still not doing the worst. Okay, we hit it. Would have hit it. But, you know, not necessarily a way we would have known that. Let's get basic Forest to play around potential Magus lines. Okay. I need to attack to get the treasure. I'll wait to see how they wish to block before potentially casting Bolt. Alright, they're just going to trade. That's fine with me. Leyline's in play, so Strangleroot Geist will not undie. Do they have like a Nature's Claim or something? I mean, if they kill the Leyline in response, I'll Lightning Bolt the Strangleroot Geist. Okay, so that will still just die. We'll get to keep that. Curious they didn't try to kill Fable instead of the treasure. That's weird to me. Maybe they have another disenchant effect? I don't know. This is Dryad Arbor. Yeah, it is. Uh-oh, here comes the Yawgmoth. So attack for 1 makes sense. I mean, we've got the Terminate for it, so that much is good. I guess they're just doing it now to see if they can hit the land. I guess they had the land already. Okay. Another ley line. I'm gonna respond to this flipping so they can't use the Yawgmoth on my 2/2. Wall. Geist. I'm not gonna block. If they attack with this, I will block. That will stay away. I may want to keep a fetch land in play if I draw a Fatal Push. Although the thing I would want a Fatal Push already gets messed up by Leyline. Let's just sacrifice this. I'll get, I guess, 3rd black, 2nd green. Or it would be 3rd green. Nah, I'll just get Blood Crypt. Those are the most common colors. Fable. Let's do that. Still need to avoid another Yawgmoth. Grist would also be bad. This is a Thoughtseize. Alright. I mean, I would have liked to have cast that, in all honesty. Now it's the Grist. Oh, now it's the Yawgmoth, even worse. They probably just sacrifice both of their creatures to kill this and attack me for 3. If the card we draw is bad, we do get to redraw this again. Alright, well, I'll redraw. Even worse. Okay. Couldn't beat Yawgmoth 3 times in a row. Do we get to go first finally? We do. And we have a keep. This is a turn 2 Fable if Monkey connects. Okay, this most likely reads Hammer. I don't think they're going to flash anything in on 1 mana, but I would want to terminate it. But I would otherwise want to get Saga into play. That's actually not even true. I want to hold up the terminate because next turn I may be wanting to get the Fable online. So let's just play this land and then go to attack. I'm still operating under the assumption that this is hammer. Ink moth. Okay, yeah. So this is definitely hammer. Let's get a blood crypt and cast a fable. Wild that they didn't have anything on one. Oh, they could have spell pierce. They've got it. They've got it. That would make a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, they've used it now as opposed to later. So I like, even if the read is spell pierce, which it was, I still think I want to cast it. Okay. Beseiju was an awesome draw. I think let's attack. See what we hit. Planes. This does cost 1 to channel. I think I'm hitting Saga here. If they commit something to the board with the Sigardazade, I get to terminate whatever is wearing it. And I think I want to Beseiju before this gets to activate. So we'll hit that using green. And then I guess I will play Saga, play Fable. We're not in danger of dying this turn, because there's no creatures in play. And they concede. Excellent. Alright, so a hammer. The chalice on 1 seems strong, but it does also cut off a lot of what I've got going on. 2 mana, 2/1 protection from white may be good enough. Haywire Might seems phenomenal. Alpine Moon is an asymmetrical way to deal with their Urza Sagas. Force of Vigor will also be good. I think with enough of my good stuff costing 1, Chalice isn't really going to be good enough. Liliana versus the Go Wide seems pretty poor. Discard spells do get worse when so many of their things are so inexpensive. Like, we're almost never going to be trading up on tempo with the discard spells, which is usually what you want to do with them, because they're obviously always negative in terms of mana. Like, you spent 1 on something where the opponent will equate to of being cost. They won't be spending any mana on the thing that you take. So it's like, maybe I just cut the 6 discard spells on top of the Liliana. There's a good chance some of these artifacts aren't good. Nile Spellbomb isn't going to do much of anything. Shadow Spear doesn't seem phenomenal, but it may be required to punch through a big ground force. Pyrite I like. Research Desk maybe not good. Mox Amber doesn't seem great either. Let's for sure get rid of these. That has meaning to bring 1 in. It could be Pithing Needle. That's another way to stop Saga. I don't know what else it stops, though. It could prevent them from re-equipping one of their artifacts. Like, if we name Hammer, even if they have ways to equip it, they won't necessarily be able to. I mean, it seems better than the other options. Let's do that. I will keep. Not having a turn 1 monkey is unfortunate, but we're on the draw where it's worse anyway. We've got 1 mana removal, 2 mana removal, and some powerful things to do later, maybe. This, I think I will kill main phase. Because if they spell pierce this, I have to use my next piece of removal on the giver also. So I think I'm gonna... Oop, wrong spell. think I'm going to just do this now. And depending on what the opponent does next, I may just get my Turok into play. Let's see what they get. Hammer. Okay. They did not get Cauldra. Ooh, Haywire Might. So I could just cast Haywire Might and then use it now to get rid of the opponent's Urza Saga. Because it is a non-creature enchantment. The danger is, what if they have Sigarda's Aid plus like put Hammer on Stoneforge? If they do that, I could just terminate it. Getting rid of Saga before it activates does seem like a pretty big deal. Gain my 2. Would love to find a land to continue progressing my mana. Yeah. They don't have another land. That's pretty big. Did find the land. So that land means I can terminate and pay for Esper Sentinel, which seems strong. I think that's the plan. The opponent may have gotten Colossus Hammer with the knowledge that they already have the Cauldra in hand, which maybe means I should just terminate the Stoneforge now and prevent them from doing that. The downside is then I don't have a way to necessarily deal with something that has a hammer on it. We don't know that they have a way to equip a hammer. Let me not die to Cauldra, because I do just die to Cauldra. This will trigger, I'll pay the 1. And then if I draw a land next turn, if it's a black land, I'll kick Turok. If it's not a black land, I'll play Soul and put a black land into play. Giver. Brutal. Obviously, my first removal spell is going to have to get pointed at that, which is not ideal. Black land would be the most fun. Renin 6. That is also fine. Giver is not yet online. So I do have a window to kill the Sentinel. And then next turn, I will have the guaranteed land when I use Renin 6 to buy back the Mire, and that can get basic Swamp. Sweet. Anyone else smell the classic Jund's Trophy coming up? The 3/2. No lands. Insert Hearthstone joke here. Lands. Keep. So this Amber doesn't really do anything. It could ramp me into the Soul, assuming that the Ragavan sticks around, but it's definitely the highest downside card. Let's just bottom the Mox. Turn 1 Blood Crypt, pass. Alright. Well, if they don't have removal, this monkey's going to be great. If they just have a blocker, I'll terminate it out of the way to make a treasure. Oh, this is, I guess probably not Dredge, but it could be the new Archon deck. Digital land. Interesting. Okay. This could work out well. And we drew the fetch land for the Wrenn and 6 as well. That's exciting. We hit Thoughtseize. Wow. They just concede to that. Awesome. Okay, well, the opponent doesn't know that we're actually on Jund yet. Although I'm not sure that Black-Red would sideboard much differently. I am assuming they're on the Reanimator deck, in which case Leyline will be phenomenal. And it would be an Archon reanimation pile. So I don't know any. I don't know that Chalice would be very good. Needle doesn't really hit anything. Haywire Might, I'm not sure hits anything. I think it's just these 5, the 5 graveyard hate pieces. Shadow Spear doesn't seem like it's gonna do very much. I could maybe race an Archon, but if an Archon's attacking and edicting me every turn, then it doesn't really seem likely that the Shadow Spear is going to be equipped for very long. The Fatal Pushes are likely not to do very much, but they could still be a Monkey, Douthie, Voidwalker deck. So I probably want to leave in some amount of the 1-mana removal. I do have the Heats and the Bolts and the Pushes. I want to keep the Heats, I think, because those kill the Archons the most consistently. So maybe between the Fatal Pushes and the Lightning Bolts. Liliana could be a liability because that could enable the opponent to discard a card, which could be Archon, which could be the end of me. Fury doesn't seem likely to be good. I maybe bring those in if I see lots of Monkeys or Voidwalkers. And then maybe one more card on the draw. Let's perhaps make it a Fatal Push. This is probably the least likely to do something. It definitely doesn't kill an Archon, and the other things deal with Monkey and Voidwalkers alike. No Leyline in this hand. It does have turn 1 Monkey, and it does have Terminate, but it's pretty slow otherwise. We do have Urza Saga, though, which does get the Grave Hate. I mean, Monkey plus Saga and ways to activate both probably just means we are forced to keep. Mulliganing to a Leyline would be nice. If they Thoughtseize me here and take Monkey, I think I'm just going to play the Saga on 1 to get that Grave Hate going. It would kind of Time Walk myself. Oh, or I could just draw that. This will get Blood Crypt. Huh. Alright, well, Hearse has the potential to be quite annoying. I can obviously get rid of these Turaks pretty easily. My own graveyard. I do have Soul, so that does make Hearse a little annoying. They're pretty far from kicking these things. Let's take the Hearse. It's their only, like, actual good turn 2 play. Like, they could just play a Turok as a 2-1, but they've got to know that I can deal with that fairly easily. I can definitely block them pretty well with Saga tokens. Play a Saga. I'm going to prioritize getting the Saga online over terminating. I wouldn't be able to terminate this turn anyway because both of my lands don't make untapped black or red. Second Turok is not very good as long as the first one is in play. Say, okay. They don't know about Verdant, but I'm going to play it anyway. If they have a moon effect, I want to get my basic swamp. If they attack, I'll attempt to make a 1/1. I would expect them to try to kill it out of the way such that I cannot block. This is kind of a free attack for them as long as they plan on kicking the second one. But if they're going to kick the second one anyway, this one's going to die. They're just playing the second one. Well, that's good news. Rhine 6 is exciting. I still think I'm making a creature, though. This can get Pyrite. I don't have a red source, though, to activate the Pyrite. It's probably too good to lose the value, though. Like, if I just make the mana, I get to then play the 2. I guess this could still be a scam deck, in which case if this just gets reanimated, that could be problematic. Let's just make the creature not get too fancy. And then to prevent death to reanimation, I should probably still just get like a Nile Spellbomb, which would also prevent them from doing the reanimation shenanigans. Then I guess I could get the next Saga going, but I do want to get the Wrenn and 6 live as well. Let's just make my mana good and then get other Saga going next turn. This is 4 to activate. It becomes a 3/2. It will block if you attack. Complete the Urza Saga 3 for 1. 2 Turoks and a Spell Bomb. Kroxa. Interesting. I think I'm ditching a land. Puts me to 9. They're not going to be able to escape because of Spellbomb. Yep. I'll go to 9. Are they considering undying it? It won't work. So I can get Urza Saga into play via Soul or Wrenn and 6. I think in the event of a third Turok, I would rather have the Soul in play. Although casting Wrenn and 6 means that I can still pop the Spellbomb and draw a card. I mean, also just getting the Planeswalker going might be a good idea. But again, though, versus discard spells, I'm going to wish it were the Soul. I think I'd like to get the Soul going. I'm not super worried about losing the value of the Spell Bomb, although maybe I should. Yeah, I'm worried about losing the value of the Spell Bomb. Let's get this Wrenn and 6 going. Because like if I pop it now to prevent the Kroxa, which is the plan, I could maybe die to a reanimator pile. I do want to get this Saga going. So I can get my other piece of Grave Hate going. Yeah, maybe I should have waited on actually playing the Saga though, because like had I drawn a red a Ragavan, I probably would have wanted to play it, but luckily I didn't get punished. Yeah, that turn was kind of bits and pieces of a few different plans, kind of amalgamized into what happened. Okay, they're just being aggressive. Is it third Turok after all? It is third Turok. Okay. I would like to keep Terminate, ideally. Damn. The 2 spells. Brutal. Worst case. Inquisition ain't gonna do much. I am dead to a land. Actually, not true, because I can activate Saga. I mean, I guess I start here. Take the bolt. I was dead to that. Return a forest because it's a land that isn't going to cost me life. Alright, so my ideal draw from their side is Blackleaf Cliffs because it's a land that doesn't let them activate Den. Croxa kills me too. That does not kill me. I get to activate Saga and block that. Unfortunately, I took the Shadow Spear out. Although I don't think that it would be enough here. Anyway. Let's see what I draw. We draw Fatal Push. That's good. Alright, so I can activate this one. This gets, I guess, Pyrite. If I get Mox Amber, that lets me have an additional mana, though. Which is relevant, because then I can activate my other Saga. So let's get the Amber. This one stays at 2. That goes there. This returns Saga. And pass. Alright, so now they can draw basically anything. Another copy of Lightning Bolt would do it. They've used 2 already. Untapped land means they get to activate Den. So if they attack with just Turok, I'm going to activate Saga with the Mox Amber in the forest, and then try to just block it. If they kill a construct in response, I'll just Fatal Push Turok. Alright, well, now I do wish my Shadow Spear was in the deck. I guess I will just push this now. Draw Monkey, interesting. Activate. This can get Pyrite. So, I mean, we've got lethal. Assuming nothing. We have not yet used the Renin 6. So if they just, like, push a construct, I guess they get hit for 6. Pyrite is 2 after damage. It's not quite lethal if they've got a push. And Shadow Spear here as well, if they have a push, also would have been bricked. Wonder what they could be thinking about. I am safe from removal plus activate Den because I just won't attempt to kill them with the Pyrite if something goes awry pre-damage. It's like a terminate. Uh-huh. Okay, I'll still go to combat, hit for 6. See what Monkey hits. It'd be funny if we hit the next Lightning Bolt. Hit a Hearse. Is that worth casting? I would still have the mana to activate the Pyrite because I have the treasure. I mean, why not, right? It makes my Saga tokens bigger. Threaten my emblem next turn. There's no reason to exile anything now. Alright, if you draw, I guess, Lightning Bolt or Kolaghan's Command, it's GG. Sick. We did not get the Jund Trophy. We did even better. So, 4-1. Not bad at all. I'll give everyone one last look at the list, which if you're watching this recorded, since I'm not streaming this, everyone is watching it recorded. You could just rewind. But, here it is anyway. Did pretty well. Played against Yawgmoth and Reanimator 4 out of the 5 matches. The Ley Lines obviously looked great. All the sideboard cards came in at least once. So, I guess obviously with the exception of Chalice. But, I mean, everything else did real smooth. The Furies felt excellent. There were definitely some turns where like I was casting Soul, but also wanting to interact. So that was a nice little thing that didn't make me fall behind in tempo when I wanted to interact on top of applying pressure. Similarly, with Fable, where I had the option a couple times to Fury while Fabling. This Liliana really didn't do much, although we didn't face any matchups where it's good. It's kind of just the 60th card right now. This Mox Amber was better than a Springleaf Drum, at least as far as this league is concerned. Especially even in that last spot, for example, if the opponent had creatures, I would have needed to tap down my blocker in order to activate my Spell Bomb. So the Mox Amber did have a few spots where it was better. I don't know that there were any spots where it was strictly worse, so the Amber did well. The lands still felt pretty good. The Sagas obviously did phenomenally. Besejus did well. There was 2 of them. We did see one situation where I needed to Legend Rule, but it didn't really get in the way because I just like tapped one and then played the other. But I mean, all in all, the list did feel pretty smooth. Obviously, playing against Yawgmoth 3 times in a row didn't really lend to having a variety of matchups. But I mean, overall, still felt pretty good. So that's going to be it for this league, and I'll see you next time, hopefully.